Yes, people. Yes. Big up to everyone else locked in, man. Big up to everyone else locked in. Make sure you like and subscribe and show some love to the channel, man. Welcome to another live stream. Big up. It's a big one tonight, man. It's a big one tonight. It's a bit of a late one as well, man. It's a bit of a late one as well. Bloody almost 10 o'clock in the UK. But big up to everyone else locked in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Look at Igal, man. Big up to my brother Igal. Igal was in here nice and early, ready to troll us. Big up to Igal, man. King Mo, big up to you, brother. Shay, big up to everyone that's locked in, man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and show some love. Today we're gonna have to have a serious talk, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is a serious talk. We're gonna talk players. We're gonna talk managers. We're gonna talk owners. We're gonna talk sporting directors. We're gonna talk the future of Chelsea Football Club. Like you can see in the title, it says, "Is Chelsea future in danger?" But can Pochettino redeem himself? We're getting to the end of the season. It's international break. The big question is that we all know Pochettino's not good enough. We all know he's fumbled the bag. But the big question is, can he redeem himself? Can he somehow or some way do something to make sure that he stays next season? I don't know, man. We've got a panel coming in. We've got Mr. Scott. We've got Mr. Joey's coming in, and then hopefully Mr. Andrews popping in later on as well, man. We've got welcome the one and only Mr. Scott. How are we, brother, man? How are we? Let me edit this
I'm not
while
too
you're
bad, bro. Not too bad yourself.
not bad, brother. Thank you very much. Can't complain. It's haram to complain, Scott, bro. It's haram. I
It's
promise you, it's
around.
haram. No, Scott, it's haram, bro. I'm telling you right now, it's haram to complain, man. Because like the boss says, look, like the boss says, it's haram to complain, Scott, man. We're too privileged to complain, Scott. Big up to you, brother. Listen, listen, man, Scott. I think we should get right into it, man. You know what? We got a little bit of transfer news as well later on, but I think we'll get into that before the likes of Joey pull up. We got a little bit of transfer news. We got a little of get stuff is getting serious at Stamford Bridge, man. Stuff is getting serious. So a little sneak peek of what's gonna come later in terms of the. I'm sure you've seen the sticker, Scott. That sticker that everyone's talking about. That the clowns and whatnot. Did they steal that off Joe? Or what's his name? Johnny or something? What's that?
I've no
Everyone's
idea.
thing. Look at this. Chelsea owner have made the target of Stamford Bridge sticker campaign as this I can't say the word. Dissatisfaction.
Dissatisfaction.
There we go. Towards Iqbali and Bowley threatens to boil over. Stickers were seen in the concourse areas of at least one Stamford Bridge stand last Sunday. So I can see Clown Lake. I'm sorry, that surely came from Johnny, man. Johnny been paying people? Has Johnny been paying people to do this kind of stuff? What's
Well,
going
that
on?
that that Bowley picture, that clown Bowley thing, like Johnny was using that
Yeah.
before previously. I think.
So it makes
Like
me
when he
think
first
that
came in.
he's the one. He's the one that's
I don't
been.
know. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe talks about brown envelopes. Maybe he's the brown envelope. What's going on here, bro? And then yeah, we've got a little bit of other transfer news we can get into. This is just Hazard prop because big up Hazard. Why not? And then listen, this is him. Yo, Scott. I know you're not gonna like this,
Right,
bro.
these fucking t-shirts are embarrassing. They should be used as toilet paper. I know Andrew feels the same way as well. These are fucking embarrassing.
I thought this was fake for a second. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, what? Of course they're not. Also,
I
can I just point out, like there
yeah, yeah.
there there aren't these shirts for Trevor. There wasn't these shirts for Matson. There wasn't these shirts for who else? Colwell when there was talks in the summer of him leaving. There's been not talk. No one else got these. No one else got these t-shirts. One player got these t-shirts.
But this is surely this is too far, man.
I can't wait for the day when he's sold.
Listen, I haven't got a problem with Gallagher. Look, some
No,
people
fuck
really
Gallagher.
hate.
Like he needs to
No,
go.
no, no,
Like
no, no.
no, do you know what it is, right? And I've maintained this from the moment I've wanted him gone. It's not just him, the player. It's the same as Mount. It's what he represents. Like it's the same for Gilchrist as well. Gilchrist can fuck off. It's not just because he's a shit footballer.
Oh
He can
fucking hell.
fuck off because of what he represents. Notice, by the way, how I don't talk about Chalobah, Matson, James, Colwell, Brozier, all these men in the same way because they don't represent the same thing. None of these it's not Cobham as such as an entity because that's nonsense. That's ludicrous. But it's the fact of you get these youth players that do nothing, are nobodies, that get put on pedestals they don't deserve to be in and be on, that then are thought of as, you know, best players at Chelsea, deserve to be here for the long haul, deserve everything, deserve the world. No,
Yeah.
no, that's not how it works. You earn what you get.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. I do agree with that. You definitely have to earn yourself, especially at Chelsea, bro. Maybe they maybe I don't know.
Not,
Maybe in other clubs
not
or
even at
anything.
Chelsea, bro. Like, not even at Chelsea. Like, go and look at what they're doing elsewhere. Go and look how Arsenal are treating Emil Smith Rowe. He doesn't make their team at all. He doesn't make their team. He doesn't play because he's not better than what they already have.
Yeah. Anyway, we will get. Listen, we got a little transfer news as well. We'll leave that to the end. Let me stop doing that for now. And then we got Mr. Joey, Mr. Brother Joey. How are you, brother? How are you, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Joey, you sound upset, man. What's happening?
I'm just a little under the weather. That's all.
Oh, big up, man. Listen,
Yeah,
everyone.
no,
Listen, we got Casualties link in the description for when Andrew pulls up, and we got Joe's link in the description as well, man. I know he's starting to do a little bit of content on there, so make sure you guys show him some support. But listen, let's get into the real question, right? Is Chelsea's future in danger? What I mean by that is that, like I've said this previously, will they learn in terms of, will they ever understand what it's like to be at Chelsea Football Club? And I think it's getting bigger now. The problem is getting out there. You see what's going on at Strasbourg. Their fans are starting to flip. Chelsea now with these little stickers. Like, I'm not trying to be the next Glazers. I'm not trying to be the next Man United fans doing protests. I'm not doing this Arsenal, we want Kroenke out rubbish. Listen, managers can go and come. Players can even go and come, right? But I don't know about owners. I can't see a new owner every 3-4 years. That's not how
it
a
doesn't.
football club can't run like that,
Doesn't
right?
work like that.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
So, is anyone here concerned? Because for me, look,
To be honest with you,
yeah, I don't know. Go on.
the whole thing, in my opinion, is a bunch of entitled individuals that are pushing a narrative that they deserve better after 2 years back from a Champions League. Like, and after the English government took away our owner, and we in the process lost multiple players during that time frame that were a core of our club, and they're blaming it all on Bowley. So, they're blaming and then the other things they're blaming are increased ticket prices. Well, the ticket prices wouldn't increase if you just told us that if that same exact group just allowed us to move out of Stamford Bridge into a bigger stadium. The prices of shirts wouldn't increase if you would allow us to move out of that stadium. And the entire thing is fighting against itself.
You think that's the case? You think that the reason behind inflated prices of the
That is
merchandise
exactly the reason. There is no other reason. There is no other reason. Why do you think this? Why do you think the whole entire purpose of when they bought this club was to create plans to build a bigger stadium, because we're supposed to be a big club. We have the smallest stadium. We have the smallest stadium out of the big clubs.
As of the summer, we'll be 10th in the Premier League. Obviously, it depends on who gets promoted and whatnot, and I don't know how big those currently in the promotion places in the Championship are. But if you were to just take the 20 teams that are currently in the Premier League as of the summer, we'll be 10th in terms of
you could already add Leicester Stadium to that, because their stadium.
That's what I said. I don't know how big theirs are in relation to ours.
And I'm pretty sure Leeds Stadium's bigger than ours as well.
You see, with this Stamford Bridge, in terms of it's more of the location and the history that I'm sure a lot of fans.
And I understand.
That's understandable.
Let the women's keep it. Let the women's team keep it. There's nothing wrong with letting the women's team just keep the stadium. Just let them keep it.
But the thing is, it's not like they're making us move to fucking Manchester or something. Like, Scott would know this. Stamford Bridge to like El Score, which was apparently where we were going to move to. Man, what's that? A 10-15 minute walk? What's the difference? And you know what? If you think about it, every time I'm going to a match, the pub that the fans are at is closer to El Score than it is to fucking Stamford Bridge. It's right in the middle.
The whole thing is mind-boggling to me. How do you complain about the raise of ticket prices, but you don't want this owner who's willing to spend the money on a brand new stadium for this club and just tell them, no, we don't want to leave Stamford Bridge? Okay, you don't want to leave Stamford Bridge. So the things that need to happen so we are a sustainable club are as such. Like, it's really not that difficult of a process to understand. It's business. They're willing to put money into this club. We've seen it. They just put $1 billion into players. You don't think they'll put another $1 billion into a stadium? Like they're willing. And this same group of people, which I am a part of, okay? I am a part of CST. I bought into that when Roman was still around. I'm a part of it. And all these people are fighting against leaving the club when they're more than willing to give it to the women. You've seen it just last week against Arsenal. They're more than willing to let the kids play in it. They're more than willing to keep the place. They're not saying they're going to knock the place down. They're just trying to move the squad, the men's team, to a 70K stadium, and they're willing to pay for it. And you guys are sitting here bitching and complaining. What type of entitled pieces of garbage decide, hey, let's not let a billionaire spend more than $3 billion on our squad to have better facilities, a better stadium, and let's bitch about the prices because we didn't want to move. That's what it was. That's what this is. That's all this is. And I'm sitting here in the other side of the country watching this shit happen. Like, are you guys is this fan base really this dumb? Like, is it really like, are you? They make us. I'm not even a fan of the sports teams here in Arizona. Okay, I'm not even a fan of the sports teams here where I live. Okay, I moved here. Okay, but my taxes that I pay for living in the state go to building some of these fucking stadiums. And this ownership group is willing to pay for it, not have no other help from it. And this fan base is complaining about it. It's
I think Joe. I think the problem is I'm getting from this fan base. If I get let Scott have his say. I think they're complaining about the wrong things. Us moving stadium is really not a big deal. I'm sorry, it's not a big deal. Us selling Conor Gallagher, I'm sorry, it's not a big deal. So the fact that they're going to such an extreme and making out that these lot are terrible people and that they need to get out of the club.
Why aren't you complaining about what's on the fucking field?
Which is the important part, right? Which is the important part.
Why aren't you complaining about that part?
Conor Gallagher is not going to help us win a Premier League or Champions League, which is what we need to win. I'm sorry. I don't have anything against them. I don't agree with certain abuse that he gets, and even with the picture we just shown in terms of having, if we sell Gallagher or Connor, whatever, we riot, bro. Are you stupid or what? Shit like that is what's making them look worse, and it's unnecessary, right? But at the same time, we need to focus on what's on the pitch and what they're doing on the pitch. I can't sit here and question their aspirations to win and wanting to win, right? They spend money, they clearly have it, but I think their approach is wrong. Right, and it's been wrong since the start, which is just you could say it's fair enough. Which is fair enough from the start. They got mistakes,
absolutely.
But at the same time, do not focus on the wrong things, right? Fucking Conor Gallagher and where we play football when we all know when it's Stamford Bridge or Manchester, we need the biggest stadium.
One of the things that they were complaining about, Ziad, one of the things they were complaining about was the length of the program that they get at the stadiums. The length of the actual program, the book, is what I'm assuming the program is, right? That's what you guys consider the program. The length of the book that they get at the stadium it used to be 50 pages, they say. Now it's only 30. That's what was written on their letter. $5 more, £5 more for a kit. That's what they were complaining on the letter. Like, what are we doing here? What are we
I
doing here?
I think what this shows, apart from the level of entitlement, but I think that's for the most part with English football fans in general, just
That's
across the
fair.
board,
That's fair.
is just a lack of understanding in terms of like there's a reason we have to do this, and I think it's unfortunate, and it sucks just because of the nature of not necessarily football, but certainly football in this country. How it's damn near impossible for most teams that are, like, regardless of what level you play at, to be self-sustaining. I think there's one club actually in England that's properly self-sustaining, and that's because they're the biggest football market in Britain, and have garnered that through years and years of
Well,
success.
they're on the U.S. Stock Exchange, Scott.
Yeah, and that comes from years and years of excess and growing and whatnot, and that takes time to garner. I imagine City will potentially get there as well if they carry on with the success they have
and they
had.
don't get and they don't get freaking
Banned or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's the thing. And so you unfortunately, and this is across the board, this isn't just a Chelsea thing, there is a certain necessity at times to raise prices, and it sucks. Like, I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. It doesn't affect me as much because I don't go to games, and I don't really buy merch at all. But I can understand it sucks, especially considering how things are in England at the moment with like cost of living and whatnot. But that's the response, and that's the answer to not being able to get a bigger stadium, to not being able to grow in other ways. That's the unfortunate consequence.
Well,
It's either that or you don't make money and you don't grow. And if we don't make money, then you have to make money in other ways to sustain yourself as a football club. Otherwise, we'll go bankrupt because we'll just lose money. And then the owners have to put more money in, which they've already done. And people are all not happy about that, but they've already put a load of money in. And then you get to a point where you have to sell more players. So guess what? All of your favourites from the academy just have to keep getting sold anyway. We have to sell even more just to stay afloat.
It's a big trickle-down effect from the stadium. It's a big trickle-down effect because the main source of your revenue as a football club is supposed to be the tickets you sell. Like, that's supposed to be one of the main sources of your income. Okay? So the more games that you have, aka like Champions League and having those types of games, that allow your revenue to be higher during the season.
Yeah, and
it's a huge trickle down effect
like,
when you talk about, like, all right, we're talking all the way to like the Conor Gallagher sale level of things. Like, if you start talking about not getting a big enough stadium, exactly what's going to happen to our
it's not even
going to happen.
It's not even just the stadium thing either. Like, I'll be real, the whole ticket sales and matchday revenue is the whole matchday revenue thing is like, you don't make that much money from matchday revenue across a season. That's part of the reason that City are getting charged, is because they've lied about how much they've made, because you don't make that much in the grand scheme of things. You know, you make more money through player sales and through TV rights at the start of the season, and especially through match earnings, or like what's the word? The like stuff winnings basically from competitions. But I get, like, this just comes back to the conversation that we have about these owners when it comes to, they're just here for profit. It's impossible to gain profit at a football club if you don't win, if you aren't good. If you're shit, you don't make profit, because anything you make goes back into the club. Otherwise, the club doesn't run. But you end up in a situation where United are, and we've already seen, and this is where I disagree with something you said earlier, Zed. I think these owners are different to the Cronkies, they're different to the Glazers, they're different to FSG. FSG are probably the closest owners they are to, if you want to, like, in terms of American, because they have looked after the club in terms of the infrastructure. Like, they are trying to do stuff with the stadium, they're trying to do stuff with the women's team, they're trying to do stuff with, like, outside of just what's on the pitch. United's owners don't do that. Arsenal's
Was it-
owners up until
Yeah.
Arteta got there and Edu got there didn't do that. So like,
Yeah, I meant more
it's
in,
not
in,
the
in terms
same.
of. I meant more. I mean, in terms of the comparing how good or bad the owners are. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just saying in terms of I
I
don't want
think
that
it's
in a
just
fan
too
base.
early to even
No,
have this
of course, but
conversation.
I just don't
So
want. I just don't want it
early.
to get there.
Like,
I
how do
swear.
you judge anything? Like, how do you judge anything in a 2 years in a less than a 2 year span? How do you judge anything? Like, truly, like as a bit like the guy walked into the door for the first 6 months, didn't have nobody around him. All right, that's 6 months off the board. The next 6 months, we pretty much wiped off the freaking earth because of Potter and his decision making. Okay, we wiped that off the earth. Now that's a year. That now the next amount from that 6 months that we from when he came in didn't have people to now, it's like that's the amount of time you have to really judge the guy, because from getting Enzo and that January transfer window to this point now is like the point of time frame that we have to judge this person. We're looking at for 15 months. Most people, when they get a job, get a probationary period of that long. It's like this guy just spent $4 billion. You don't think he's trying to make his mistakes? He'll figure out his own mistakes. Like you think Roman was perfect? The guy has we owed him $2 billion.
Yeah.
We owed the guy $2 billion. You think anybody else was gonna do that before later on? Like, he owed us we owed him $2 billion. Like, yeah, he needs to they need to make changes so it's a little bit more sustainable, so they're not losing as much money as this guy was. And I bet you it was more than 2 billion. They're just making 2 billion as the number.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. You see what Scott you were saying. First of all, big up to Rich Moneymakers, big up to everyone in the chat. Make sure you like and subscribing. Some interesting comments. I'm going to get into them in a second. Scott, when you mentioned in terms of you can be pissed off in terms of merchandise money and ticket price, with of course cost of living in London and UK as a whole is crazy. But Joe, you say it's an extra £5
For
the kit.
yeah, that's what they said. Extra
Scott,
£5.
I'm not gonna say what I actually want to say, but let's be honest, man. £5 ain't gonna. That's not what they're crying about. £5 are not what they're crying about, man. We both know how they can enjoy their night and enjoy their weekend. I'm sure they're not complaining about an extra £5.
That's what was on the letter.
You know,
That's what was on the letter.
There we go.
That's what was on the letter. That's all I'm reporting. That's all I'm talking about.
I think, and this is the thing. I think the whole letter situation. I haven't read it. I don't care to. I don't really give a shit what the Chelsea pitch owners have to say.
Don't read it, Scott. You'll just get pissed. You'll just get pissed. Don't read it.
But what it strikes me as is that most of what they're basically doing is finding every little thing they can to get pissed at these owners, because they're pissed at an overall thing, a general thing. They're just pissed that I think there's two main things they're pissed at. Number one is that we are not doing well. We are shit. This is the general, I think, is the number one thing. I said, I think the number one thing they're annoyed at, which is what most fans are annoyed at, is just that we are shit. We're not very good at the moment.
Right.
Number two, I think it comes down to the academy and the fact academy players are getting sold. I think from those two general points.
Come on, man.
No, like Ziad, I know, but
that's so ridiculous, man. Fucking Conor Gallagher, who's, let's be honest, I don't, like I said many times, I don't hate the guy. I think he's a cool guy. He's an okay footballer, but that's really, he's 50 million for Conor Gallagher is the steal of the century. Come on, man. Just because the guy's English and he's got blue eyes and he's got nice blonde hair, bro. Come on, man. £50 million.
Yeah, you and I both know that, right? But I'm just saying, I think that's the 2 points. I think from that, they're finding like as many things as they can to get pissed at these owners for. And there are things they can get pissed at these owners for. I've spoken about things I am displeased about this ownership group and about the sporting directors and some of the things they've done, right? But I think they're finding every single thing they can to get pissed at. And I think the nail in the coffin, which I don't have a take on, I don't have an opinion on the matter. I think the nail in the coffin for a lot of these pitch owners was the whole Chris Jurassic comments and that nonsense.
Yeah.
As I said, I don't have an opinion on it. I don't care that much to have an opinion on it. Like, I just honestly, I'll be real, when it has come to Chelsea, since the game finished and we had the review the other day, I haven't thought about Chelsea since.
I've got a couple quotes for you. Don't worry, Scott, man. But this is where I agree with rich money makers. We have very good owners. I think you're getting that in terms of how much they're backing the club, which is fair. And we have sporting directors that are guiding them on the wrong path. Well, first of all, what I would say is that it's been the wrong path for a while, and this is where the owners make decisions to get rid of them, right?
Thank you.
And then first of all, like I don't see these sporting directors. I don't see their qualifications for this job. Were they ever sporting directors? Was one of them a scout or something?
When Stanley was not ever, I think what's his face was Stuart was.
Here's the thing, Ziad,
But
right?
did they have the qualifications to run the football club?
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about this, right? Here's the thing about this. As much as everybody wants to get on the sporting directors, and I am right there with you. Okay, I am right there with you. I'm right there with you guys on the way that you had these last 2 transfer windows. I'm not happy about it. Okay, but it's been, you have to understand the position that they've been put in. Okay, it is an absolute 100%, nearly, let's say 80% rebuild of the entire team within a 18-month period, guys. It's an entire rebuild of a team in an 18-month period. Okay, now, was it the correct way to do the rebuild? No. Okay, we can see that now, right? But you gotta, I feel like they should have at least this next window to get it right. And if they're getting the type of people, if the people that we're hearing about are the people that they're scouting, they're not scouting the same type of people that we were looking at beforehand.
But listen, I'm gonna get some, because some of these comments are starting to piss me off, especially on Enzo, because the revisionism on Enzo is. We'll get into it a little bit. Of course, you got I feel like King Mo is here to troll today, man. King Mo, he wants to take the piss. Today he wants to take the piss.
On the shifter.
And then Ali A.
He doesn't think I can see him, and I'm on a shifter.
And Ali A, big up to Ali A, man. He's always in the chat. And then look, you got him saying Xavi's come to ours and he's a Liverpool fan. Michael Edwards already in. You can't chat to me. Chelsea don't even try it, right? All right, man. Let's see what
we're not getting Xabi Alonso. All of us know that for the most part, so we don't care.
No, he's a Liverpool fan. He's basically taking a piss out of us, saying they're getting everything.
This also isn't true, by the way.
What's not true?
In terms of the Xabi Alonso thing.
I hear Bayern.
I'm hearing mix. I'm hearing Bayern.
Yeah, I'm hearing Bayern.
But I'm pretty sure the Bayern president or ex-president said that Liverpool and Bayern are both currently speaking to Xabi Alonso and his representatives.
Big up to Josh.
I think Edwards though, they do have a good shot at getting him. I do definitely think they have a good shot at getting him.
Oh, even if they don't get him, with Edwards, they're gonna do bits anyway.
They'll go get Ruben Amorim or one of these other guys. They'll be fine. Liverpool will be fine. It won't be the same Liverpool. That's the thing. So it'll take a season or 2 to be get really good. But yeah, they'll be fine.
And then Mr. OK, right, saying, with the way we reject sponsors, the only way is through winning. Because he also mentioned that Stake, Paramount all wanted sponsors, but what happened? I don't know if it was because of the backlash.
Those two are wildly different. Stake is because of backlash from the fan base. Again, fan base.
And Paramount was
again. I don't particularly have an opinion on that. And the Paramount was nothing to do with us.
Yeah, it was just too late.
Oh, that was the Premier League who said no, right? Or something.
Yeah.
Yes, it's because
they have a partnership with NBC, and Paramount and NBC are like this as of right now. They should be if you see some of the way that things are going in the sports world, eventually it looks like they're both going to be the kind of, you're going to get NBC and Paramount on the same thing, but Paramount does is CBS, which is its own type of own whole entity, and it's like BBC and whatever other news channel else you guys have.
Yeah. Rich Man Makers, of course, big up all the legends in the house. Of well-spoken legend Scott, big up to you, brother. And then this is who I've Black Bush, for the love of God, bruv.
Yeah, this guy's been on a roll. Look at him. He's been.
The owners have ruined us crazily, poor decisions. That's fine. You can think that.
I really want to understand, because this is kind of what I wanted to understand with your title in terms of like, what do you mean by ruined us? And kind of Ziad same similar question. What do you mean like future in danger? I'm just curious, like because
The way I see it, Scott, go on.
like I say, I can see some ways where what they've done has ruined us in some way, depending on the level of ruination you're talking about. If you're talking, have they made us irrelevant? Have they made us where we can't challenge again? No. I've said before, we're 2 windows away from challenging. We're 2 proper windows where you don't act like idiots and you do right decisions. We're 2 windows away from challenging.
Thank you. I've been saying that.
Out of curiosity, positions and.
I think if you get one more striker to go along with Jackson, and you get and a guy to potentially take over to I don't think Scott's gonna like this, but I think you need another keeper and then a left back. And like if you get those 3 positions in the summer, like you should be in the top 4 race just from those just 3 positions. With those 3 positions,
manager.
I'll be real. I don't think for top 4 you need 3. I agree with all of them apart from keeper. What you need keeper for is challenging. But that's where I say it's like it's a 2 window. It's technically no, it's a 2 year. It's 3 windows if you include January, right? It's a 3 window thing where it's like in the summer, right? You go and get a proper coach. You go and get a proper director of football. You go and that's backroom staff sorted. You then don't need to touch the backroom staff, theoretically speaking, apart from like the new coaches, people they want to bring in, whatever. In terms of positions, I'll be real. If you want to be as minimalist as possible, you need 2 positions, striker and left back. That's all you need. If you want to be as minimalist as possible. I'm saying if you want to be a bit greedy, I'd say left wing as well. Right? That's let's say 3 positions. Then you can consolidate. That should be enough for us to get top 4. If you go and get those positions right, that will be enough to get top 4. That's not even including, let's say we do need another centre back and we sell for Fana. Cool, that's just a 1-for-1 switch, depending on who you get and how much you sell him for. But let's not include that. Like, let's just say the guys we have get fit and we're fine, right? Then the next summer, all we probably need is a goalkeeper and a centre back, like a top goalkeeper, top centre back, maybe a midfield cover, maybe.
Yeah, but Scott, here's the point that I'm trying to make, right? I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to be able to answer it right away. How long, Scott, has it been since we've challenged? Since we've challenged
for the Premier League, it'll be 7 years. We'll have not.
So over the last 7 years, we've been fighting for top 4. Correct or no?
Yes.
The last time we challenged was the last time we won.
Exactly, Ziad. Exactly. So over the last 7 years, we've been challenging for the top 4. Over the last 2 years, we haven't, right? And in 2 years, this team they were capable of flipping this team around after losing Rudiger for free, after losing Christensen for free, flipping this team around and getting back into the top 4 with 2 more players. And that's the outrage that we have over these owners right now. That's the current outrage that we have over these owners. I'm just trying to put a perspective on it, right?
I think that's the thing.
It's like we haven't actually been challenging for titles for 7 years. It's been 7 years since we haven't challenged for titles. Now, over the last 7 years, we've been challenging before the last 2 years, over the last 5 years, we've challenged for top 4, and we had something happen with our club. Now, do we think in 2 more years we could be right back to where we were over the last 7 years? Absolutely. We think with a better manager right now, we could be probably in those areas. With a better manager right now, we think we probably would be up in the 5th, 6th range where Manchester United are.
100%.
And then like I mentioned about the revisionism about Enzo. Scott, the problems as fans, we don't know their true intentions. Our academy has declined. Action
No, it hasn't.
will hopefully make the owners change, get rid of these directors, Poch, and useless players like Enzo. Since when is fucking Enzo Fernandez a useless player? I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you lot right now. When we signed Enzo Fernandez that January window, whoever was pissed and whoever said, know what, why the fuck are we signing this guy? You are fucking lying. No one said that. Well, everyone was gassed.
Here's the thing, Ziad. Here's the thing. It's underwhelming when we see Enzo on the left wing. That's underwhelming. That's underwhelming. Of course it's underwhelming because he's on the fucking left wing.
It's such cap, man.
It's
Enzo Fernandez was
underwhelming
one of
because
them.
we keep on seeing
Bro.
Enzo Fernandez in positions where he's not supposed to be in. That's
Bro,
that's what's underwhelming. That's what's frustrating about the whole scenario.
Big up to Ravage, man. This is, of course, listen, Jerry Simmons. That's a border. That's right there. That's a
No,
border right there.
he's staying at PSG.
He's probably set up PSG, but listen,
Yeah.
money talks at the end of the
It
day.
just
He'll-
makes sense.
He'll be the only reason, by the way, the only reason that he wasn't still there is because when he left, there was a realization that they weren't selling Messi or Neymar. But this was before, like, obviously they sold Neymar, but when he left, it's because
And
they
he
didn't
probably
think they
already
sold-
got promised that he was going to be one of the starters.
Oh,
once
Joey, literally,
Mbappe's on the field.
that's he would if they
Like
were sold.
he left the Leipzig for 1 year just because he
Yeah,
knew
like,
that
he's like- I
Mbappe
think
was
he's
going to be
signed-
gone, so he could take Mbappe's spot. If
I could be
Mbappe
wrong.
stayed at PSG, I'm sure Xavi Simons would be one of those guys, one of the midfielders. But I mean, we're talking about midfielders from Bundesliga. That's what we're talking about right now. Like that's all the 10s in the league that are available are 10s from Bundesliga. So it's a crapshoot, really. When you talk about 10s from Bundesliga, it's a crapshoot. Like I don't think Sabazlai looked great in Bundesliga. He doesn't look like anything special here in the Premier League. Like I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's anything special. Like
Big up to you, Aaron, man. Would you take Conte back? I think that's time's done, man.
no,
I'd take
Absolutely not.
Conte. Big up Conte, but I think
Fuck
that's
Conte.
no.
if
Oh, fuck
if it's
Conte.
possible,
I'm serious.
if Flick
Fuck
is
Conte.
possible, that's the one that we have to go for.
Yeah,
If
100%.
Flick is
Who?
Flick is if
Flick.
Flick is available,
My
hey,
manager.
look at that.
My
Look
manager.
at that. All right.
My manager. Him or too cool. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Like if Flick is available, that's who we have to go for. Like that's like, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of noise around Flick other than like we have like the slight links in Barcelona. You saw Barcelona?
Yeah,
Harry
there's been
yeah.
reports of him going Barca.
Okay, maybe I'm not as tuned into Twitter as I thought I was.
It wasn't even Twitter, bro. There's a article by Guillaume Balaguer on BBC Sport about Flick. So that's like I've heard rumors and then I saw that I was like he's probably going Barca.
But there isn't a single individual for you that is a good fit for you. There's not one. Yeah, I don't even know one. You haven't said one good thing in the entire time you've been in the chat. There isn't a
Yeah, like my
it's like everybody's bad, bro. There's nobody that's good. None of our players good. The owners stink. Sometimes I'm surprised he actually supports Chelsea the way that he talks about him even after wins.
Flick.
Like, it's like
hey, that's an incredible season though. Guess what? No other Bayern Munich manager's ever done that. Won the sextuple ever in their history. We're talking about a team
I would take
11,
that.
Hang on, we're talking about a team that's won 11
realistic
Bundesligas in a row, and they've never won the sextuple. They're the most successful German team in terms of league history, and they've never won the sextuple. Apart from
I just want to say, bro, big up Sad, the football corner for the redirect now. Big up to Sad. Make sure you guys are subscribing to Sad, the football corner, man. Make sure you guys are getting him to 2K. Big up to Sad. But yeah, Bush, I don't know what's going on today, bro. It's a howler, bro. Flick, you don't like. It's the Zerbi you're shitting on. Chelsea players,
I've said it before, by the way. I've said it before, and people don't like it. If you want to get someone who's tailor made for this squad that we have right now with limited changes, you go and get the Zerbi. As much as people don't want to hear it, like
what? Because you coach a couple of players, Scott.
No, not even just that. I'm talking about profiles as well. Profiles, setup, formation, everything. If you want to take someone where you have to make limited changes and stick with mostly who we've got right now, the best option is De Zerbi.
Like Ziad, what he's saying is if you needed to sack Poch tonight and you needed to hire one guy quickly, and that one guy that could quickly make a turnaround with the type of squad that we have, De Zerbi would be the profile of individual.
Oh shit.